Welcome to NKC Spotlight. In this episode, we have a very special guest speaker with us. She is a single parent living away from home independently for work, and she's also going to share her insights as HR professional. Before beginning this episode, we would offer our sincere gratitude to our director of MKE's group of institutions, a principal of Nagindas Kandwala College and BSTD Junior College, Professor Dr. Maushmi Datta, for giving us this idea of starting our own podcast, our Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Professor Dr. Mona Mehta, for helping us bringing this podcast into existence. This podcast is hosted by the Department of Multimedia and Mass Communication, the NKC Spotlight. Welcome Krupa ma'am on this episode of NKC Spotlight. We are so happy to have you on this episode. To begin with, what's the most unexpected challenge that has come on your way of being a single parent, and what's the most beautiful part about it?
Sure. Thanks, Pruta, for having me, in your show. And of course, the biggest challenge is realizing that from decision making to responsibility is going to be mine. So there is going to be no one else coming or saying that, don't worry, I got you. I had to be available, as a parent, both father as well as mother. Secondly, I had to play both good cop, bad cop. I had to be very much present mentally, financially, emotionally, all the time. And even on those days where I myself felt, empty. But I think the biggest happiness has been seeing my son grow up despite of whatever circumstances that we went through. And the kind of partnership or the bond that we share today is, on the basis of how we have grown each other, with each other's support. And we did our own mistake, we learned from it. And today when I see him so much grounded, so much, strong and mature, I think that has been the biggest happiness for me till now.
So today when you see your son of how he has grown up, so you feel very proud of what step you took or how you have contributed in his growth. You spoke about all this. It reminds me that as students, we get overwhelmed with many smaller responsibilities. What are the habits or mindsets you follow when you go to really tough phases?
Right. I think I see this nowadays that despite of, small responsibilities, students tend to get overwhelmed. And I think, we all face challenges, right? Whether it is a student or a parent. What I have learned is that don't look at the problems like mountain, right? Take each step at a time, one day at a time, one decision at a time. And when challenges happen, shrink the problem, right? Not yourself.
Okay.
And I'm sure, everyone finds the solution.
Absolutely.
This, yes.
So that was really helpful advice for all the youngsters who feel that those that the problems they are facing are like mountains, but they are not actually like mountains.
Absolutely.
Moving ahead, what's one misconception about single parenting you wish more people know about?
I think people feel that single parenting is, the life is full of compromise and sad. I don't think so it is, right? We don't raise kids because we are broken, but we raise them because we are strong. People should understand that, single parenting is respected more because we have to play the role of both father and a mother, right? But it's not, difficult. I would say, of course, there are days which are challenging. But I think that the decisions that we take are very intentional. So I don't believe in what the world talks about, but I think I believe more in the narrative that I give myself. I think that is more powerful.
Absolutely. What's one funny or memorable incident of living alone moments you would like to share?
I always thought living alone would be fun, but it is not. Okay. I don't know whether it is funny or not, but I can never forget this one incident that happened with me. I had gone to do some grocery shopping one of the Sundays, and while I was returning, I took the lift and I was stuck all alone
In the lift.
in the lift. And I wasn't aware whom should I call for. I was just not able to understand what to do. Because I was stuck in such a thing. Even if I called for help, there was no one who was able to come. मैंने शायद भगवान का नाम लिया, भगवान को याद किया, because I think that is the way we can, right? And I think in just 2 minutes the lift started. I reached on my floor, and उसके बाद से I have never taken the lift. मैं second floor पे रहती थी. I have always taken the stairs from there on.
Okay, so that one incident has stuck in such a way that it kind of makes you think you're
Absolutely.
So just as you mentioned about an incident of a lift, ऐसा कई बार हुआ होगा where you feel loneliness or you feel homesickness. So what are the coping strategies you deal with those moments?
Right. So living alone, homesickness, loneliness is for real. Okay. What helped me is so initially in couple of months I used to travel to Mumbai every weekend. So that helped me to not just make my son
Make sure that he's
comfortable,
doing good.
or because it shouldn't be like a shock to him, right? The distance should feel little lesser. What helped me was to create rituals. During the weekdays, my work really kept me busy. I didn't had any time to think about being at home alone, because I was quite comfortable. But weekends were really where I felt, I used to miss my family, my people back home over here. But then those small things like, rituals like making a tea or just catching up on some web series that you want to do. One thing is for sure that staying alone, and especially when you are all by yourself, it gives a lot of time. You are sitting with entire silence all by yourself. That gives you a lot of time to think, ponder over things about your life. Sometimes I felt it was necessary because every day we are so much in chaos that we don't think about other things in life, right? But I think with technology and a lot of video calling at home helped me a lot. And I think the kind of bond that me and my son have, wherein we can speak anything and everything, that helped me to speak about, any kind of challenges or whatever I was feeling. Sometimes, emotionally, you need them. So all these things really helped me to stay away or not feel lonely those moments.
So now, since you have witnessed this journey, so what is one piece of advice you'd like to give to the students who are planning to move to another city or country for their future career or study?
Right. Now I feel that I think every student should at least experience staying alone once in their lifetime. Okay. I know it will be difficult. It will be a lot about, coming out of your comfort zone. But don't look at the comfort, look at the growth, because leaving your home, your family, and staying, studying or working in different city, right, is going to give you a totally different experience and learning which you are not going to get in your books, because life is going to be your biggest teacher, right?
Absolutely.
So but once you shift, and I have seen a lot of because the organization where I was working, we had almost 50-60% of people who were relocated. Right? So a lot of people who are staying all alone away from their family. So now I relate a lot with them. But don't look at, as I said, at the comfort zone, right? Trust the process, because staying alone, homesickness एक time के बाद fade हो जाएगा. But जो self confidence तुम में आ जाएगा ना, by navigating these challenges, I think over a period of time, नई city you will feel like home. In few months, and the kind of self-confidence and you are ready to face the world. So I think experience that at least once in a lifetime.
So I believe all those students who are planning to move to another city or country, by watching this podcast, I think they'll gather some courage and some strength by what you're sharing your stories of.
I can vouch for that.
Moving towards the space, about your workspace. You are an HR professional from the past 14 years. So, how do you think your personal experiences in life, single parenting, independent living, has made you more empathetic HR professional?
So, HR means human resources, right? The first word, which is human, right? So, we are dealing with humans and not machines. And which means that today, I think everyone is going through something that the world doesn't know. Everyone is going through some of the other problem, right? So, today, when I see anyone, someone who is distracted or missing the deadlines, right? Or their work performance issues, I don't jump to the conclusion or I don't judge them anymore, right? It's more about being empathetic, building curiosity that what must have gone wrong or are they going through something, right? And then fixing the problem rather than, fixing the person. So being empathetic is going to be a very important role or skill that HR professionals have to have.
So, it's all about understanding why the problem took place in the first place instead of directly judging that person. How do you see the HR industry is evolving, especially with the Gen Z joining the new workforce?
Right. Of course, we see a lot of Gen Zs now joining the workforce, as you said. I think HR is transforming, right? We are also evolving. And today, HR is getting more people driven rather than policy driven, which used to be. Because Gen Z, they will not just take anything that is given to them. They will ask the why behind it, right? They want to understand that what their work is going to build, the value for them, right? And for the kind of work that they are going to create. So I think what they seek is one, purpose, transparency. They are no more looking for hierarchies. So I think organizations are also now being pushed to change their way of working, which is more of a Gen Z driven, and I think I'm loving that.
Okay, so you're loving the Gen Z change that is.
Absolutely, because today the generation that we come from, right, we would just take anything that comes from our superiors.
Correct.
But today they question the status quo, right? And I think that's beautiful.
So the questioning or the reason behind knowing why the work is given makes the difference more beautiful according to you. Okay. If you had to design one perfect employee experience, what would be the non-negotiable elements?
Right. Designing a perfect employee experience, I think there is no cookie cutter approach for that, right? Basis the organization challenges, you will have to, keep on improvising accordingly. However, there are certainly some non-negotiable things. I think respect is utmost important. Fairness is what people seek now. Transparency, and of course, the growth opportunities that the organization would offer for them. I think these are some of the important things which I feel, because people don't leave organizations only for money today, right? They don't want to be treated as just resources. They seek how they are valued in the organization. So I think these are some of the important things which I feel are non-negotiables. Rest, I think organizations can come up with so many initiatives, fun Fridays, but these are very they work like instant gratifications, which are very short-lived, right? Yes. But if you are making the employee feel valued, I think you are doing a good job at it.
So employees today want to be consider themselves as assets and not just human or other resources of the organization.
Absolutely.
So summing up our podcast, if your journey had a message for the students who feel stuck in their lives, what it would be?
I think at some point we all feel stuck, right? But that doesn't mean that that's a full stop for your life. Today, post-COVID, the entire world has become, so very unpredictable. We all call it as a VUCA world, right? And things are changing drastically, right? what works today may not work tomorrow. So being or feeling stuck is very natural, but moving on is something that we all should. And how to move on, right? So keep on learning, right? I think don't compare your journey with others. Everyone is having their own journey, their own life experiences, and never give up. I think that is something I feel is important, and I truly believe what Virat Kohli says, the famous one which has been around, which is believe in God's plan, but put your efforts as much as you are believing in God.
Absolutely. I think that's a very beautiful and relatable message for our audience. Thank you so much, Krupa ma'am, for coming on this podcast, and we really had a wonderful time and so many beautiful insights on student, on working professional. Thank you so much for being on this episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Stay tuned as we bring more insightful and interesting episode on NKC Spotlight.